Hello and welcome to a very exciting experiment that I like to call Can You Build a Side Hustle Business with ChatGPT? And this is something that has interested me for quite some time now. So I thought, let's give it a go. But we're going to need a little bit of money, and this is where my good news comes into play. One of my games has passed the $100 mark. It's actually earned just a smidgen over $100, and I'm really pleased, really excited. So I'm going to take that money and apply it to this experiment. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, that I've got this $100, which is about £80. I think £80, 16 pence at the time of filming. And we're going to see if we can turn that money and build a business around what it suggests. I am going to follow its instructions. I'm going to do what it says, and we'll see where it leads us. Now, this is really exciting. So let's start by asking it for some business idea suggestions and see whether we have something tangible in the form of a side hustle. And then we'll start probing it further to get more information out and see where it leads us. Okay, let's go. Right, okay, so we're all plumbed in to ChatGPT, and I'm going to start by telling it how much I've got. So I have $100 and would like to start a creative business. I am interested in game design, animation, and Comic Cons. Do you have any suggestions for a side hustle business? Right, let's see what it gives us. Okay, so it's just repeating back, confirming. Create and sell your own board games. That's interesting. Sell digital artwork or animation assets. Assets can be sold on platforms like Etsy. That's a good one, actually. Create a web comic or a YouTube channel, maybe. Start a booth at a Comic Con. You can enjoy attending Comic Cons. You can use your £100 to reserve a booth or a table at a local event. Now that's a good idea. So I really like points 2 and 4. So how can we sort of combine the two? So selling digital art at a Comic Con booth. So maybe we could cool. Okay, maybe we could combine the two and create animations to market or make somebody's stall stand out. So I have $100. I'm going to just repeat it again. I have $100 to spend on creating a business. I enjoy, let's go for Comic Cons, animation, and game design. Do you have any side hustle business suggestions that would help promote someone's stall at a Comic Con? Now, let's see what it gives us. So, create a social media management service. Maybe not. Design marketing material, offer your design skills to vendors to create flyers, posters, and all other marketing materials. That's sort of what I had in mind when I was merging the previous 2 points together. Create a website for vendors. Offer video production services. You could use your animation and video skills to create promotional videos. Again, it's points 2 and 4, which I like. So maybe we can merge those two together. So we could create marketing material or visuals, animated visuals that will attract people to a particular Comic Con stall. I did notice on the Comic Con events that we've recently been to, there are huge differences between stall quality. So some people will just have a few books on there and nothing else. Others will have masses of visuals and it's really busy. And people are attracted to more attracted to one than the other. So yeah, I like the idea of setting up a little side hustle business that will offer stall vendors to download some promotional material that maybe they could display on a tablet on a stand. Yeah, so they could have a stand on one of those iPad stands that just cycles through some animations, maybe make it interactive as well. I like that. Thanks, GPT. That's a really good start. Okay, so I'm back on the same conversation because you can pull up over here previous conversations you've had with ChatGPT, and this is the one that gave us the idea for creating animated visuals for stalls. So I'm going to ask for some names now. Let's see if it can come up with a good business name. So I like the idea of a business that sells digital marketing banners, shall we say, to stallholders at Comic Cons. Can you offer some suggestions for a business name? There we go. Let's see what it brings up now. Sure. Okay, so Con Boost, Hero Banners, Comic Advert, Super Signs, Booth Boosters, Fan Frenzy Banners, Con Creations. Ooh, I like that, Con Creations. Comic Covers, Pop Banners. Now I like that as well, Pop Banners. Artistic ads, Pop Banners. Possible, yeah. Can you offer any more suggestions based around comics? And let's have a look. Based around comics and sci-fi. Let's see what it says. Okay, so Galaxy Graphics, Super Signage, Comicrafts. Oh, that's a good one. Sci-fi Signs, Heroic Banners, Cosmic Covers, Fan Frenzy Graphics, Pop Culture Promo. Oh, now I like that. I really like Pop Culture Promo. Spacey Signs, Comic Con Creations. I think we might have a winner. Let's go with Pop Culture Promo. I like that. Yeah, thanks again, GPT. This is good stuff. Pop Culture Promo. Now, this next stage was definitely going to be the hardest, coming up with a business plan. And this sort of plan that you're seeing now is a result of a lot of conversations with ChatGPT. So at the very top, we have the pop culture promo, the overall business, and what comes out of it are different suggestions that the AI has made as to how we can put our money to good use and start generating some income from it. The main area is this one here, the promotional interactive animations. And I quizzed it on how or what would be the most effective way of managing that side of things. And it came up with a really good idea of generating license keys. So people can download the promotional digital asset that we're producing, and they have to enter a license key. And now the website, again, is suggesting we need a website for this, which is pretty obvious actually, to be fair. The website can not only handle the download, because they could just download it for free, but it also suggested ways that PayPal, for example, could be used in order to for them to obtain and purchase their license key, and in the website's back end, it'll generate the key that they can just type in, and it'll activate the animation or the product. Now, pressing it further, it did suggest that we should have temporary keys that would last a week, because it actually said that Comic Cons on average last about 4 days, 4 or 5 days. So a temporary key would be ideal, and also suggested a month or 6 months, because stall holders tour the country and they go to many events. There's probably an event every weekend now that it's now spring has come and everyone's gearing up for the summer. So I was really impressed with this area here. It also suggested that we could do bespoke animations or promotional materials. So while these will be just standalone download, one size fits all, maybe it's just some visuals to attract people's attention as they walk past the Comic-Con stalls. This one will be more specific to that stall holder's brand, perhaps, or whether they have a particular idea they would like to develop further. And it again suggested that I would be doing that, because I told it I'm comfortable with designing with my game design experience. But also, I never thought about this, it actually came up with an idea to start building a community of like-minded individuals who would also be interested in, for a small commission, design these bespoke assets for particular stall holders. Now that is a really good idea. I'm just so impressed with the way that it's sort of handling this task. It also came up with tablet stand purchases, because not every stall holder will have a suitable stand, or a secure stand, more importantly, ones that you could like lock and protect the tablet from being damaged, knocked, or worst case scenario, being stolen. So we can actually provide that. That would be a really good idea on a purchasing basis, but also maybe on a rental basis. But thinking about it, that would be a lot of hassle, because I want this to run as smoothly as possible. I basically want to hopefully get it to run itself with very little input. Once it's up and running, mind, with very little input from myself. So looking at this, we have a pretty sound business plan, and I am so impressed by what I'm seeing so far. So yeah, this is the Pop Culture Promo business plan. We are going with Pop Culture Promo. So let's get it to come up with some ideas for a logo. I don't think it can't design any visuals, but again, let's see if it can help us come to some sort of give us some sort of idea as to how a logo should appear or feel. Okay, so we're going to go with Pop Culture Promo. So here we go. Can you suggest any logo ideas for a business called Pop Culture Promo? Right, let's see. Okay, so a logo featuring the letters PCP in bold eye-catching fonts. Not quite. A logo that uses bright pop art inspired colours. No. Pop by incorporating the graphic of balloon or a bubble. A logo that uses a retro font and a colour scheme such as 18's neon, with a graphic of a cassette tape, arcade machine, or other pop culture reference. I like the cassette tape, actually. I like the cassette tape. A logo that features a graphic of a movie or TV show reel with the business name written on one of the frames. I like the cassette tape. Okay, so we'll go with the cassette tape. A logo that uses a retro font and a colour scheme with a graphic of a cassette tape. So maybe the cassette tape could have Pop Culture Promo written on, where you normally write the album name or the artist on the cassette. That would be good. And then you could have the business cards could be little cassette tapes. I've got 100 ideas whizzing through my head now. This is so good. First things first, let's get the logo nailed. Yes. Yes, let's do a cassette tape logo with a retro font and an appropriate color scheme. Well, we'll go with the traditional, I don't know, black black cassette. I don't know. I'll play around with some ideas. Sometime later, I now have a finished logo design. I tried to get AI to generate it and do these free logo generators. Wasn't very good. So took on board ChatGPT suggestions and just built it myself really. And this is the final result. I'm really happy with it. It's got a lovely 80s theme to it. So I'm all on board with this. Yeah. So we've got a logo. Well, I'm going to call it there for part one because, well, I've just been blown away by what it is suggesting and the help that it is already offering at this very early stage. I think the secret to it is being able to get very specific and precise with what you're asking. Basically, if you put rubbish in, you're going to get rubbish out. So the more detail you can give it, or the more substance you pass it to work with, you're going to get some really valuable nuggets of information coming out, as we've seen. So at this point now, I have the domain registered, I have the logo designed, and yeah, we're going to start looking into the license key generation part, which I think for me is going to be one of the most interesting, because I like that side of things, these logic sort of mathematical puzzles, but I also think it's going to be the most difficult part for me to implement. But we've already seen how useful ChatGPT is in terms of generating ideas, offering help and advice, and it will even write code. So I'm hoping it can write snippets of code that will help me generate temporary license keys as it's previously suggested. Check out my website where I stick all my projects on for more details about how this is progressing. But yeah, stay tuned, subscribe if you like. I really would like it if people could subscribe, and then we can start all following the progress of this little experiment of mine together. Okay. That's part one. The end.